We look at ourselves as a family. Even though we have people in the US, in Asia Pac, in Europe, still we try to make it as a family. We keep sure that whatever information, we keep it available to our people so they understand what's happening in the company, what's the progress. So we build internal trust, and that internal trust builds excitement and motivation, and they convey that to our customers to get them to trust us.
Welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Just sit back, relax, and learn from the leaders of today. It's a journey. Each one is different, unique, inspiring. Let's get started. This episode is powered by J Ventures, a community-driven VC fund in Silicon Valley in partnership with Leumi Tech, sponsored by Homeward Ventures, Hippo Insurance, Upwest Labs, Synergy Global, Hillel at Stanford, Leap, Birthright Excel, Serona Partners, and in media partnership with C-Tech. Welcome to another episode of 20-Minute Leaders. Today I have with me Reuben Braham, VP Marketing of Cyberint. Reuben is an experienced marketing executive with an extensive background in building brands and developing sales pipeline via structured demand generation that includes an ABM strategy. He has been with many key organizations like SailPoint, Checkpoint, Comverse, Microsoft, and Formula, and more recently as Vice President of Marketing for Cyberint. Reuben specialized in B2B enterprise marketing for technology products with focus on cybersecurity during the last 10 years. He built, managed, and scaled marketing teams globally and brings a rich knowledge of sales, business development, building partner channels, and technology alliances. Reuben Braham, welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. How are you?
I'm fine, Michael. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for having me today. I'm really excited to have you here and talking about marketing, especially in B2B enterprise and the cyber world. So much art. It's so similar to, art and then the way that you're thinking about, people and you're thinking about businesses and what they care about and what you offer. And especially in a world that is changing every single day and the offering is changing and there's a lot of competition. So I'm really excited to dig deep into these worlds with you. You're an expert in marketing. There's no other way to put it. You've done some incredible things, just a few of them, Comverse and Checkpoint, and today Cyberint as VP marketing. So a lot of really interesting stories that I'm sure that we can cover here, but we only have 20 minutes. So I want to get deep into it. Reuben, why marketing? Tell me a little bit about why you're doing marketing.
It's a good question, Michael. So marketing for me, as you said, it's an art. It's to get to engage people, to get to educate people, to get to attract people. I could have done sales, I could have done business development, I could have done many other things. I think I'm equally good at all of them, but marketing for me is really, getting people engaged, getting them to go through an entire journey. Today, it's the art is really to understand your buyer from an initial stage when he's still, looking at research and trying to understand what's happening in the domain, getting into his mindset, being at the forefront that, you're a thought leader, you can help him, you can provide him some value, without trying to sell him like in a marketplace or whatever. So the art of B2B is really engaging and interesting. It allows us to go through the entire buyer journey and get people, in all places, understand a better value proposition. So that's the main kind of thing that excites me, interests me, to get people to get engaged and talk to a lot of people, be involved with a lot of people, talk to a lot of companies, get them to understand any company, especially Cyberint, which is like a threat intelligence leader, right? And this domain, as you said, the cyberspace is so crowded. Every day, anyone can be attacked and breached. It's just when it's going to happen. It's not if it will happen, it will happen. And now how you are prepared, how you're engaged, how you build your defenses around you, and you choose the right propositions for your enterprise is important for any organization. And Cyberint is one of the companies that can help them.
Incredible. So, I'm coming from an engineering background, and, when I think about coding, I have a variety of coding languages that I can play around with. And at the end, overall architecture, it's kind of repetitive and we have the same best practices that are agreed upon globally. Is this the same holding true for marketing, that sort of there are these different techniques and they're pretty similar, and then you just adjust them to whatever circumstances? How much variety or variance do you have as you think through marketing strategies for different companies?
I think that in general, the strategies can be similar. So you have a set of strategies that you can think about where you want to take your company into. For example, if you want to build an account-based marketing strategy where you say, I want to understand more deeper the personas in an account. I understand what interests them, what excites them, what makes them tick. And I'll start to bring content that is relevant to them, that makes it engaging for them. And you start to build a journey towards that. So you need to understand the basics. Marketing has evolved a lot. It's a way, advanced than many other domains. You have a lot of things that, digital marketing, people with the COVID, right? It's people are not so much face-to-face meeting anymore. So, the salespeople can't run and go and meet people as they used to do before. So there are a set number of strategies, but everybody needs to look at how they can optimize and implement and what works best for their organization. So you have to have a clear and a crisp mindset about what you want to do, how you understand the organization, your customers, how they perceive you, how they want to be perceived by you, and then build your marketing strategy. Hope that answered your question.
Right. I think that makes a lot of sense. No, yeah, definitely. And that makes a lot of sense. And so how do you even go about developing these strategies? How do you, how much of it is, sort of trial and error and testing? And what is sort of the process that you go through as you're saying, okay, I have this product and now I want to figure out how to market it to other enterprises?
Yeah. So you build what you call an ideal customer profile. You see who's your target audience. You try to map out the target audience. It can be a mid-enterprise, a big enterprise. It can be a vertical. It can be many verticals. So you have to really be laser focused and understand if your product, to who it's relevant and who will be the first ones that will be eager to uptake your product, right? That will help you, be more, do more with your resources. Like, we always like to do more with less. So it will help you build some kind of initial focus. Then you need to kind of slice and dice how you're going to talk to each of your different key personas. If it's the CIO, the CISO in the security space, the chief security officer, so map out your relevant personas, and then you start to build, what would be the ways to kind of reach out to them. How do you generate brand awareness? So, you can be a small startup with a 5-person company or a 1-person company, and you can be a big enterprise. You are different. Sometimes you are known, sometimes you are not known. So taking a company from an unknown to a known journey is also a process. So that's brand awareness, right? So you need to create that brand awareness. You need to kind of build the right engagement process with the analysts and in the different, the key analysts like the Gartners and the Forresters, that they understand your value proposition and what you are offering, because they are also talking to B2B customers, right? They're engaging with B2B customers. So you have to build, first of all, the layer of brand awareness. And then you need to go about saying, how can I engage better? How do I build my website that talks and the language of the customer, that he understands, that his journey will be engaging? So then you said about building the infrastructure, the basic infrastructure, which is your website, the face to the earth. Recently, we revamped our website. You can look at it, much more engaging, much more interesting. So we want to get more people to convert because they want to learn more. They want to understand. They want to see if you have value proposition that appeals to them. If I can't within 30 seconds catch their span of attention, I've lost it. I'm out of the game. And now if they understand that I have research that can help them, I have things that can help them and make them also be, well valued at their organization, I got their attention. Then it's important to also look at how you map your peers, the customers' peers, how they think about you, and engage with them also. So you build a few circles and you start to build. I think the heart is content. So you have great content, you keep them engaged, and then you get some kind of dialogue and process, which is part of the lead generation engine. So starting from brand development to lead generation, it's a whole process that you need to look at every bit of it and see that you cover all the parts of it. You can't do everything equally well. Some is trial and error. Especially with COVID and with people being remote now, so it's even more challenging. Usually you had conferences, people were jumping on a plane, going to an RSA or going to an InfoSec in Europe and meeting face to face. But with that gone, you have to be very smart with your content strategy and your digital strategy.
So let's take Cyberint as a case study, right? So you're facing now threat intelligence platform, one of the leading in the world, a hyper growth company, and you're thinking about how do I market this thing? How do I market this to other B2B enterprises and explain something that is a little complicated? It's not that trivial. How do you even go about that? What is sort of your thought process through there?
Okay, there are multiple things that need to be taken. First of all, it needs to be crisp clear what we do and what value we can bring. So we try to actually come to the enterprise and very simply say, we don't need heavy machinery, no servers involved in the organization. We actually sit on the outside and we scan your perimeter. We look at what's happening, what's the threat landscape beyond your perimeter. We look at all your digital assets, we map them out very simply, very easily, and we come back and we give you very targeted intelligence. Without intelligence, you're blind, right? If you have intelligence, you can be smarter. You can prevent attacks or breaches that can happen or even are being planned to happen. So you need to be very well prepared, and having intelligence is a baseline of that. I think that enterprise get that. And when you show them, like suddenly you talk to an organization, you show him in a demo, you talk to him or you show him like bunch of leaked credentials from his organization out in the dark web, which will, in 2 minutes, somebody will breach him. Can install a malware, can be a ransomware inside his organization. So I think they get it. And people understand that it's a part. Now, many people need to take the progression from understanding that it's really going to help me to something that will bring it into the organization. So that's a process. And usually, when we get to that stage, we're very successful in convincing our customers. And we have a very satisfied team of people, a bunch of customers, because our intelligence team, mainly comprised of a lot of analysts from Israeli Defense Forces, are very experienced and have a lot of, they go very deep and very intense into the different sources for intelligence, and bring out a lot of valuable information to support customers. And when you have a happy customer, he's ready to speak to another 4 customers, prospects, and tell them that he's happy. So I think, that's where, we kind of focus our attention into. And bringing that message to the market, making it available, making them aware that Cyberint is here to support them, to be a partner to them, not only selling them a platform. We don't sell a platform. We bring a service that will help them. If they don't find help on the service, they shouldn't use us. But most of the people that come here and part of Cyberint's family, we look at them as a family. And really, the analysts also treat them as a family and offer them the managed services portion also as part of that. Allows us to really keep our customers, with us and help us grow our Cyberint family.
Fantastic. And so, with this world is changing, what I'm hearing from you, a huge part of this is trust, right? And when you're talking about the customer satisfaction and their vote of confidence and the professional analysts that you have, it's a lot about building trust with these enterprises so that they want to both, have you being a part of their platform and being sort of their defense mechanism. And that is a crucial part to the conversion here, right?
I agree with you. I think actually it all starts with the trust internally. So, our CEO, Yochai, and it's part of the DNA that we instill in our people. We say, first of all, let's trust each other. We look at ourselves as a family. Even though we have people in the US, in Asia Pac, in Europe, still we try to make it as a family. We keep sure that whatever information, we keep it available to our people so they understand what's happening in the company, what's the progress. So we build internal trust, and that internal trust builds excitement and motivation. and they convey that to our customers to get them to trust us. I spoke to a couple of CISOs who are customers and asked them, why do you use? He said, I get so much valuable intelligence and alerts that after that, I can take real decisive action. And even if I have like multiple platforms that are providing me, I can take that and come to the board and the executive team and show them I took actionable and impacted and benefited the company. So, that's the kind of relationship we build and the trust, both internally and externally also.
And so, from your experience now working in the cyberspace and marketing for quite some time, what is perhaps the number one factor for building this trust? Is it more the personal touch, the communication with the company? Is it more on the technological side, the validations? Is it the customers? What really is sort of the end result here?
I think, as in many cases, it's not one single thing, right? So, one, you need to have a good platform and a good way and a good offering, right? If you don't have a stable and a solid offering, whatever trust you build and whatever relationship you have will not help you, because you need to bring value to the customer. So, our offering is very strong and brings a great value. Now, if you add to that the human factor, the human touch, and that helps us alleviate our offering, right? And brings us to enhance the trust and the engagement and the value that we bring. So both together is a much holistic picture for the customer and helps him then to understand the value proposition and use our platform and to be a satisfied customer.
Right. Reuben, tell me a little bit about, what excites you in this space. Well, what excites you about your day-to-day work? What really gets you going?
First of all, getting things done. I like to get things done, right? If I get up in the morning and I don't see that like I have a full day ahead of me and I'm going to make an impact. Every day is a day where I need to make an impact. If it's a small impact or a big impact, it doesn't make a difference. So it's getting motivated, getting excited every day you go to work or you work remote, doesn't matter wherever you are. But, sitting with you here excites me, talking with people, engaging with people. So what motivates me is really, doing things and getting things, progressed and achievements. So that makes me tick, okay?
I love it. And, obviously to continue innovating and being creative and understand the strategies that will again get your customers to trust you and be excited, it requires quite a bit of inspiration. Where's your inspiration coming from?
My inspiration comes from many of the great leaders that drove innovation. If you look at Steve Jobs and you look at even Elon Musk, it's taking the automotive industry and moving it to a new dimension. That company is many times bigger than any of the other traditional. Now, I have nothing against traditional automotive, but it's a game changer, right? So looking at different leaders that are game changers, reading about them, understanding, their lifestyle, keeps me very, very, look at them as kind of where I should be myself and kind of keep innovation, pushing ourselves. Are we doing enough? What's the next step we need to do? If it's in marketing or even pushing our R&D team, I think that way, even internally in the company, we challenge ourselves all the time to see that we can keep a step ahead. What's the next thing we want to bring to our customers? What's the next feature? What's the next tool that we can offer them that will help them make? So those are things what keeps innovating and helps us. And I draw this inspiration from many of the big leaders that were much, much greater than me anyway.
So it sounds like a marketing role, especially in a deep tech company like Cyberint, it requires quite a bit of product understanding as well, and understanding of the technology itself to be able to then, sort of be the bridging gap between the customers, the sales cycle, back to the product and the development of the R&D to try and even understand and give feedback of what is actually happening and where are we maybe coming in short, where should we be doubling down, right?
Yes, I think definitely you need to understand the product. You need to understand, what use cases you are covering in an intensive manner. So Are you going deep enough? If you kind of, if you're looking, let's say, at examples of fraud, really going deep, understand what are the customers valuing? How do they get the value? How would they, get even better? So yes, I think you need to understand. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to be a developer, right? If you're, it's great, but I think a deep understanding helps you understand better the product and the pain points of your customer, and then you can also relate your story and tell it in a better manner to your customers or potential customers.
Growing up, Reuben, did you know that you're going to go into marketing? That this is sort of your calling, and that this is you mentioned that you have quite a variety of skill sets, but was this something that you always sort of thought through?
I knew I love to speak to people and engage with people and learn new things. If it's understanding wine, understanding food, and becoming a foodie, so I kind of thought it was a natural evolution for me. When I started off my career, it started off in high tech with different companies, but I kind of started off on a sales and marketing role, and then I felt more comfortable doing marketing. That's where I felt I could express myself better, engage myself. So if you say, if I was when I was a child, I dreamt about marketing, maybe not, but I can tell you that I was always kind of interested in engaging and trying to lead things and do new things. And I think the curiosity then comes and helps you, take on whatever path you take in life. For me, it was going through marketing.
I love it. So I'm a young entrepreneur looking to start my own business one day. And I don't have any marketing background, but I'm looking to bring some amazing marketing people. What is sort of one or two pieces of advice you would give to any, person who's starting their journey in marketing and needs to think through, okay, how do we even learn how to do this, and how do we become experts and have the experience that you've had?
I think one is understanding when you're coming to a new product or a new solution that you want to bring to market. I think is understanding what you are doing, what is the value proposition you bring to your customer, right? And then try to understand their pain points, their journey. Are you answering that? How can you help define it better? So understanding well the product offering you're bringing, and then building your go-to-market strategy. So I think you need to have if you're bringing a new marketeer on board, he needs to really understand the full scope of marketing. As I said, especially in a small company, right? Because you don't have the luxury to have more people and get more people. So, you need to understand what are the pain points I'm solving? What are the messages that I can help relieve those pain points for my customer? And then what are the easiest 2-3 avenues that I can take it to market and help build my brand, right? Because I think at the end of the day, it's all about developing a brand. If people know you are there and you're giving a solution that will help them, that is a dream for every marketer.
I love it. Reuben, I want to thank you so much for being here. 20 minutes go by so fast every time. And I have 10 more questions that I want to ask you about marketing, but I'm going to have to leave them for after the episode. And I really appreciate the time that you've given me, and your experience is phenomenal. And I can't wait to see where you take Cyberint. And thank you for the time and effort. So stay safe and stay healthy, and thank you.
Thank you, Michael. It was awesome to talk to you, and I'm happy to answer any questions after this, and anybody you want me to answer to. Take care.